Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
And today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, so you can watch it on demand. Today is June 19th, 2019, and now the News at Noon.
According to the Cortez Journal, a 26-year-old Colorado man will serve life in prison after being convicted of felony first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of 3 people at an illegal marijuana grow operation. The Daily Camera reports that Garrett Coughlin was sentenced in the 2017 killings Monday after jurors reached the guilty verdicts after a day and a half of deliberations. Each count carried a sentence of life without parole. Prosecutors said he killed Wallace White, Kelly Sloat White, and Emery Fraker in the foothills near Boulder because he wanted to steal money and marijuana to feed his drug addiction. There was little physical evidence tying him to the crime. Prosecutors presented evidence that the slugs used were almost certainly from a long rifle revolver Coughlin had at the time of the killings and later tried to hide.
Reported by the journal CDOT Chip Seal Project, photo Patrick Armijo. Chip seal operations are underway at the eastern edge of Cortez for a project that will bring a fresh surface to U.S. Highway 160 from the eastern edge of town to the top of Mancos Hill. The $2.6 million project, which will go through Mancos, includes a chip seal of Colorado Highway 145 from U.S. 160 north for 1.3 miles. Lisa Schwantes of the Colorado Department of Transportation said delays Tuesday in Cortez averaged about 12 minutes, but times should drop as crews move east away from traffic lights in town. Weather permitting, crews on US 160 expect to be at mile marker 49, the Mesa Verde National Park exit, by the end of this week. The project, which should wrap up in July, will apply protective material to the road to prevent deterioration and will upgrade ramps and bridges at the Mesa Verde interchange. CDOT chose smaller rock chip for the project, 3/8 of an inch thick instead of half-inch rock, to provide a smoother surface for cyclists. Crews will also place a layer of asphalt emulsion blended with finely crushed stone and cement called microsurfacing on 2 small sections of US 160 to test its viability as a maintenance surface treatment. The 2 sections will be near the Sleeping Ute Mountain rest area and east of Mancos. The areas will be monitored over time by CDOT for performance and durability.
From the Cortez Journal, Canada's just released national inquiry into thousands of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls calls the crisis genocide. The 1,200-page report titled Reclaiming Power and Place is the culmination of the national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls launched in 2016 by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Trudeau, who accepted the report at the inquiry's closing ceremony Monday at the Canadian Museum of History in Gatineau, Quebec, promised a thorough review and an action plan in response to the report's 231 recommendations. The inquiry spent nearly 3 years holding public hearings, gathering more than 1,000 hours of testimony from 2,300 witnesses, often the families of victims and survivors. Its recommendations center on supporting Indigenous police services, overhauling current police procedures to address MMIW cases, changing criminal codes, and reforming child welfare, APTN News reported. In Canada, as in the U.S., the number of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls is disputed. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police estimated that 1,200 individuals had disappeared or been murdered since 1980, but the Native Americans Association for Canada puts that figure for the last few decades at 4,000. The report also focused on Indigenous people who identify as 2SLGBTQQIA, which stands for Two-Spirit, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer, Questioning, Intersex, and or Asexual. Indigenous women who align with that identify markers are sometimes targeted for their sexual orientation and gender identity, creating what one researcher describes as triple jeopardy for various forms of interpersonal and institutional violence, the report reads.
From the Journal, photo Patrick Armijo. Rusty Hall has already made a first cutting on 80 acres of leased land in McElmo Canyon, setting up what he expects will be a banner year for hay production in Montezuma County. Quote, "Last year was terrible because of the water," he said. "This year, we're getting our first cutting in, and some people haven't had to irrigate at all. Some have irrigated once," he said. It's been about the same over here in Dolores County. Hall said he's using his first cut of alfalfa grass mix hay and alfalfa hay to set up an ideal cutting schedule for the second and third cuts of the season. Currently, he said his grass is going to seed while only about 20% of his alfalfa is blooming. Cutting a little early before an ideal first cut, he said, will cut down on the first cut's yield, but will set up an ideal schedule for second and third cuts when his grass and alfalfa should all be synchronized for prime yields. In addition, he said cutting early will also make for a cleaner cut with fewer weeds. Hall is selling his small bales, about 60 pounds on average, for $9 for a buyer's pick from his stack, $8 for a buyer's pick from the field, and $12 delivered in Montezuma County with a minimum delivery of 10 bales. Danny Decker, owner of the large Decker Hay Farm near Cortez, who has completed his first cut on about 300 acres, said he expects hay will sell from a range of $220 to $350 per ton, depending on its quality in southwest Colorado. He cautions that a number of factors go into hay prices, including the quantity of hay produced elsewhere in the country and the amount of hay exported to Asia. But he said high-quality hay should still maintain its price from 2018, despite the greater yield expected this year. Decker said even high corn and soybean prices will act to drive up the national price of hay. He also cautioned that excessively wet weather, as well as dry weather, can also harm prices. Quote, "You need dry weather when making hay," Decker said. "If it rains a lot, we'll have a lot of rained-upon cheap hay available." Decker expects to be finished with his second cutting by the end of June, and he plans to begin his third cutting 2 weeks after finishing his second cut. That's not the pace of crops out this way towards Utah. But this year, with its plentiful precipitation, Decker said, should mean yields double from 2018, but he noted 2018 yields were only about half of average because of the drought.
According to the Cortez Journal, a La Plata County woman hit in the face with a golf ball at Hillcrest Golf Club says the corporation that operates the course acted heedlessly and recklessly without regard to consequences or of the rights and safety of others in a lawsuit filed last month. The redesign and reconstruction of Hillcrest Golf Club about 4 years ago moved the tee box on the fourth hole so golfers had a more clear shot at the fairway. But the realignment put the fifth hole putting green within range of the fourth hole's tee box, creating dangerous activity for golfers on the fifth hole putting green, Ann and Dexter Herring said in a lawsuit against Durango Municipal Recreation Incorporated. The Hillcrest Golf Club Board of Directors did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment. Durango Municipal Recreations has not filed a response to the Herrings lawsuit, which was filed May 24, 2019. A golfer driving a ball on the fourth hole hit Ann Herring in the face May 26, 2018, while she was putting on the fifth hole. Herring's eye had swollen shut, said Durango attorney Michael McLaughlin, who is representing the Herrings in their lawsuit. She continues to be treated by eye doctors and physicians more than a year after her injury, McLaughlin said. After her injury, Hillcrest's board of directors had a sign installed at the tee box on the fourth hole saying, "As a courtesy to players on number 5 green, please let them clear the green before hitting your tee shot. Thank you." And now let's take a look at the weather.
Today, sunny with a high near 79 degrees. West winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And tonight, mostly clear with a low around 54. West winds 5 to 10 miles an hour becoming east after midnight. And Thursday, now there is a fire weather watch in place due to the potential winds. It'll be sunny with a high near 82 degrees. Breezy with a southeast wind 5 to 10 miles an hour becoming southwest 15 to 20 with winds gusting to 35 miles an hour. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 52 and breezy again with southwest winds 15 to 20 miles an hour decreasing to 5 to 10 by midnight. But again, those winds could gust to 35 miles an hour, so we all need to be very vigilant about any potential smoldering lightning strikes from the previous storms being ignited by the windy conditions. Then into Friday, now a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms is on the board. Sunny with a high near 76 degrees, breezy with a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 20 by the afternoon. Winds again could gust as high as 35 miles an hour. Then Friday night, a 30% 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight, partly cloudy with a low around 47 and still breezy. And now Saturday shows a 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms, yet it is showing sunny with a high near 67 degrees, so we do cool off a bit. And then Saturday night, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms before midnight, partly cloudy with a low around 41. And Sunday, sunny with a nice high near 69 degrees. Sunday night, mostly clear with a low around 43. And then Monday, warming back up, sunny with a high near 77 expected, and Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 48. And now, back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Montezuma County is responsible for paying to replace a $10,000 culvert under a county road that is relied on by the Montezuma Valley Irrigation Company, according to a June 17th ruling by 22nd Judicial District Judge Douglas Walker. In 2018, the county purchased a new culvert from Skyline Steel, and county employees installed it. The culvert conveys water under County Road W to MVIC shareholders. The county requested MVIC help pay for the costs, but the privately owned water company refused, claiming state statute obligates the county to replace it if needed. In a complaint filed in August, MVIC requested that the court determine that the irrigation company is not obliged to reimburse the county for the cost of replacing the culvert. In its complaint, MVIC cites Colorado Revised Statute 3784-106, which states bridges constructed over ditches and flumes crossing public roads shall be maintained by and at the expense of the county. Attorneys for MVIC argued that the maintenance requirement imposed by the state statute includes the obligation to replace culverts. The county asserted that while Colorado statute states bridges constructed over ditches and flumes crossing public roads shall be maintained at the expense of the county, it does not mention replacement. The crux of the case is whether the definition of maintenance includes replacement. Walker dismissed the county's claim and granted MVIC's motion for summary judgment, ruling that the state statute's language obligating county maintenance of the culvert does include replacement.
Reported by the Durango Herald, photos Jerry McBride. Wings Over the Rockies, a new educational bird show being held at the La Plata County Fairgrounds, is struggling to attract an adequate crowd during its first summer in town. Mike Foto, president of Raptors Wild, Inc., the local nonprofit working to put on the show, said it takes about 50 people buying tickets per day to break even, but so far Wings Over the Rockies has been averaging 10 to 15 people per show, meaning the nonprofit is losing money every day. Foto said if attendance does not improve this week, the show, which was scheduled to run until August 6th, will have to end much sooner. Wings Over the Rockies gives audience members an up-close and personal experience with the Raptors. Foto and his partner Greg Rayborn have about 40 years of experience as master falconers. Typically, they bring out 9 to 10 different birds and share information about them, including the differences between them and the issues they face in the wild. During the hour-long shows, audience members learn about the birds' hunting practices, digestion, and other anatomy. Foto and Rayborn bring the Raptors into the grandstands, which Foto says gives audience members a different experience than if they were to see the birds in a large arena. The audience has shared that because of the proximity to the birds, it is an experience that they will never forget. It's not the same as seeing them on the television, Foto said. When the show finishes, people typically stick around to ask questions and take photos of the birds. Foto said the purpose of Wings Over the Rockies is to educate people about the wildlife around them. Foto and his partner are working 16-hour days as they get the show fully up and running. A day for Foto and Rayborn starts at 5 a.m. when they feed all of the birds. Each raptor eats a bird a day, even if it won't be going to the show, meaning it costs about $21 a week to feed each bird. Currently, Raptors Wild Inc. has 25 birds and expects to have 30 by the end of July. After breakfast, the birds are placed in individual bird boxes and put on a trailer at their home in Aztec before being driven to the fairgrounds.
From the Durango Herald, Brian Jetter was on life support, a healthy 40-year-old suddenly battling pneumonia and sepsis, and a slew of tests had failed to find the cause. Mystery illnesses like this kill thousands of people each year when germs can't be identified fast enough to reveal the right treatment. Now genetic tests are helping to solve these cases. One, finally, was used to search Jetter's blood for bits of non-human genetic material from viruses fungi, and the like. It detected unusual bacteria that probably got into the Connecticut man's lungs when he choked and accidentally inhaled bits of a burger weeks earlier. With the right medicine, he recovered and went home to his 5-year-old son. Doctors routinely use genetic tests to spot inherited diseases and guide cancer treatment, but using them to detect infectious diseases is so new that few doctors and even fewer patients know they are available. A study of one test is published in Thursday's New England Journal of Medicine. They are modernizing a field long overdue for an overhaul. To identify bacteria, labs still rely on century-old techniques from Louis Pasteur, putting a few drops of blood or other sample in a lab dish and waiting days or sometimes weeks to see what germs grow. To test for a virus, a doctor usually has to guess what the patient is sick with. Testing for a fungus or some other things can take a long time. Several companies and university labs now offer gene-based tests on blood or spinal fluid. Once fragments of foreign DNA or other genetic material are found, their code is analyzed or sequenced to identify bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites causing sepsis, meningitis, encephalitis, and other deadly illnesses.
And from the Journal, courtesy photo, every summer sees thousands of people from the world converging in western Colorado for the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. Just down the road, Rico also hosts live shows at the Enterprise Bar and Grill. A music festival will take place this weekend in their outdoor beer garden. On June 22nd at 3 p.m., the Heroes, made up of Brad the Shredder Davis and Joel Weaver, will take the outdoor stage. The duo, who performed at the Grammys, will play originals and favorite cover tunes, plus spin humorous stories and adventures about being musicians who are on the road. Some of the original songs have been performed by Tim McGraw, Tommy Shaw of Styx, and Billy Bob Thornton. Davis has performed with Sam Bush, Marty Stewart, Earl Scruggs, and Thornton. On June 23rd, the $6 String Band will perform on the beer garden stage starting at 2 p.m. Local bands and musicians are also expected to take the stage.
From the Durango Herald, dozing off to late night TV or sleeping with other lights on may mix up your metabolism and lead to weight gain and even obesity. Provocative but preliminary U.S. research suggests. The National Institutes of Health study published Monday isn't proof, but it bolsters evidence suggesting that too much exposure to light at night could pose health risks. Daily exposure to light and darkness helps maintain our 24-hour body clock, which regulates metabolism, sleep-promoting hormones, blood pressure, and other bodily functions. Mounting research suggests disrupting that typical sleep-wake cycle may contribute to poor health, increasing risks for high blood pressure, diabetes, depression, and obesity. The researchers analyzed health and lifestyle data on nearly 44,000 U.S. women enrolled in an ongoing study seeking clues to causes of breast cancer. The analysis focused on data on sleep, light exposure, and weight gain during the study, but not on breast cancer. Results were published in JAMA Internal Medicine. Women in the study had medical exams and filled out health and lifestyle questionnaires when they enrolled and periodically after. Those who reported sleeping at night in a room with a television on or a light were more likely to gain at least 11 pounds over about 5 years than those who slept in darkness. They were also about 30% more likely to become obese.
And today's High Canyon Country happenings, Canyon Country Discovery Center in Monticello is offering a float for 4 days and 26 incredibly awesome miles of the San Juan River in southeast Utah. Participate in activities ranging in scientific topics such as ecology, geology, astronomy, and more from experienced guides and educators. It runs June 25th through the 28th. It's $150 for locals, $50 deposits per child, and scholarships may be available, and it's for kids ages 12 to 15 years old. For questions or reservations, reservations, call them at 435-587-2156 or email info@ccdiscovery.org. June 19th on Wednesday, the Dove Creek Recreation Department would like to share that, quote, both the intermediate baseball game and 13U softball games scheduled in Dove Creek tonight are canceled. After all the rain yesterday and today, the field is too wet and muddy, so please spread the word. And this Friday, June 21st, at the State Line Bar and Grill, it's that time again. Friday, starting at 5 p.m., their Cajun Boil is a delicious platter, or order off the regular menu. The music of Crossroads will be playing on the backstage. You don't want to miss that. The Cajun Boil features crawfish, crab legs, shrimp, corn, and potatoes, all for $28.99. And you can request the free shuttle. You can call them for more information at 970-677-2649. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, you can contact us by email, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Be sure to like us there on Facebook, and please join in on the news of our area. And of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.